Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Red Manx TV, and today I'm going to be previewing the game between Chelsea taking on Manchester United next Monday at Stamford Bridge. And wow, this game is probably one of the biggest games of the season for Manchester United, and I don't know what to expect from this game. And it's obviously Lampard versus Solskjaer Part 2, as in Part 1 we did manage to beat Chelsea, and you could say that was a surprise, but on that day that was probably one of the best games of the season because we turned up and absolutely smashed Chelsea. Yes, they weren't the best team on the day, and they were really poor, and I think they were in that phase where they did need to improve under Lampard, but obviously they have done further on in the season. But we dominated Chelsea on that day, and obviously we have struggled from that in the season. So you don't know what to expect from this game because both teams are very inconsistent. One day United could turn up and absolutely smash Chelsea. We could go there and smash them again. But on the other hand, we could absolutely just get dominated by Chelsea, and they could easily walk over us right now with the form we're in. But yeah, so going into this game off recent form, Premier League form, we are not doing well recently. We obviously lost to Liverpool in a game which they absolutely dominated us, and we were lucky to only have 2 if De Gea wasn't in goal. And then obviously we lost to Burnley, in which I thought was even more shocking than Liverpool, and it's a big opportunity there to pick up 3 points, and we could be 3 points off from going into this game. But then again, obviously we drew to Wolves in a game as another opportunity to get 3 points, and we fluffed it. I don't know how many times you played Wolves this season. It's got to be like 5 or 6, and we haven't scouted them out. We didn't know what to do against them, and that is just worrying for me because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should have worked out what they're going to do, because they did the same thing with their overlapping wingers, just going to cross it into Jimenez, and Jimenez can header the ball well, as we've seen before, and luckily he weren't a big threat in that game. But yeah, we obviously drew to them. But if you go off Chelsea's recent form, they obviously not in the best form either. They obviously lost to Newcastle 1-0, and then they drew to Arsenal, and they drew to Leicester. So they haven't picked up the points they could have had. They could be far ahead of us, and every team, if they did pick up in the last 3 draws and losses, if they're all wins, then they could be miles ahead of everyone, and the top 4 race has been over already. But obviously it's still open, and if we do win, we go 3 points behind them. So it is a massive game for Manchester United, and a one we need to win if we want any more chances of top 4, because we have been given many chances to get into that top 4 position, and we've fluffed it every single time. When Chelsea have lost, we've lost later on, and that is shocking to me, and it's been so frustrating that we can't capitalise on teams when they do give us the opportunity. But obviously going into injuries, Marcus Rashford's still out, and that's going to be a big miss going into the end of the season. I said it before, and he's been our shining light this season and our only goal source, you could say, because mostly everything has come through him, and he's been a world-class player for us this season, and definitely one of the better players in the Premier League. But obviously Fosu Mensah is still out, but McTominay and McTominay and Pogba are both back, and that is going to be key for Manchester United going into this Chelsea game, because they couldn't be back for a more appropriate game, because they do turn up, Pogba and McTominay, they do turn up when they play. They've been good for us when they have played, especially McTominay. He's bossed it coming into the first team football this season and playing it more. So yeah, it's really going to be good to have them back. So anyway, let's get into the lineup. You'll see it on screen now. So this is my lineup going into the game. Obviously De Gea in goal, Williams on the left, Lindelof and Maguire as a centre-back partnership, and obviously Wan-Bissaka on the right. And in the middle, Fred and Pogba. They're returning Pogba, shall I say. He's going to make a huge difference to this team, and I'm so glad he'll be back for this game. But you could also put McTominay in there for Fred, but the way Fred's been playing, I would stick with Fred. And obviously Bruno Fernandes, our newest signing, in for Jesse Lingard, and then obviously James on the left, Greenwood on the right, and up front Anthony Martial. So obviously you could change that for Mata on the right, but other than that, not really, and this is our strongest team we could put out. So tell me what you think down below, guys. That midfield is something to be scared of in my opinion, and it's just a big improvement on what we had before. So yeah, that's my lineup for the game, and thanks for checking out. So that's the lineup going into the game, and yeah, it's exciting to me. That lineup can really cause Chelsea big problems, especially that midfield of Fred, Pogba and Fernandes. It's going to scare opponents, in my opinion, because it's a big improvement on what we had before, obviously, from Pereira and Lingard. You're going from McTominay or Fred to Bruno Fernandes, and that's just a big levels that we're going. And I'm so glad we did make Bruno Fernandes official. But obviously, going into Chelsea's problems, obviously, Tammy Abraham is going to cause us a big problem going into this game. He is a good goal scorer and he's had a decent season this season. Recently he's not been scoring many goals, but other than that, he's helped Chelsea a lot, and I think he's been their main source of goals. Willian's been stepping up recently. I mean, I rate Kovacic as well in the middle. Kovacic is a very technical player, and I think he's very good in that middle, and he has helped Chelsea a lot. And obviously Kante, you know about him. He's a world-class player on his day, and he comes alive against United, and hopefully that doesn't happen again. And yeah, that's what you need to worry about, really. If Kepa is in goal, make sure we do test him. I just want to see us in this game just play attacking against Chelsea, because they're attackers, and just counter-attack them, because their defence recently has not been the best, really. Rudiger's a decent defender, and so is Zuma, but there's people there we can target. Their fullbacks we can definitely target. James, he's been a good player for Chelsea this season, James. I really do rate James as well, but other than that, we can cause them problems with the likes of James, with the likes of Greenwood, if he does play. Hopefully he does, and obviously Martial up front, and hopefully we can recreate that 4-0 win. But yeah, other than that, please leave a like, guys. Tell me your score predictions down below. My score predictions going into this game, I'm going to go 2 on United. An away win for United at Chelsea will be big, and it's a must-win game, and our biggest game of the season, guys. So make sure you do subscribe, and I'll be there with an instant match reaction after the game.